Hello, everyone. Thanks very much for joining us today on the Marketing Resolution YouTube channel. If you haven't already, please subscribe, ding the little bell so that you get the notifications when we upload new video, and feel free to share these videos on your social media platforms. Today I have with me Alison Legg from Sydney, Australia, and I need to introduce her to the world as a newlywed with a new name. Her new name is Alison Legg Maltby. She's been married for about 2 weeks. Congratulations, Alison.
Oh, thank you so much. Yes, it's very exciting times at the moment.
Well, I can't believe that you're spending time talking to me. You should be spending time on your honeymoon. What are you thinking?
I know, it will come. There's big business to do now, so.
That's all right. I appreciate your dedication to the industry. So, Alison, the reason that I wanted to chat with you is because you have such a unique practice. You combine some really fantastic experience that provides such a well-rounded menu of services for your clients and their clients. And so I was hoping that you could explain to us a little bit about your practice and the kinds of things that you do for clients there in Sydney.
Oh, thank you. So I started off working in a non-for-profit organisation as the community engagement officer. So I was linking in with all the referral agencies, and I was doing my bachelor's of counselling, and that's what I was going to do. But I decided to get into the family dispute resolution, so mediation between separated parents, and I found that was my niche, and I loved it. And with my counselling skills, I was able to support people in many ways. But working in a big non-for-profit organisation, I felt that there was a lot of policies and procedures that tended to get in the way of client care. So I decided to open my own practice so I could support clients in the best way that I felt that I could, using all my skills that I have. So in my practice, it's that initial point where parents can come to and I can help them dependent on their situation. So whether it be mediation, so working out parenting plans for them, or whether it be counselling, if that's what they need as they're going through their grief and loss process, or whether it be child consultation. So if they're already in the mediation process and they're wanting a voice for their child, I can meet with the child for about 45 minutes and just find out what big messages that they want their mum and dad to hear or mum and mum, or dad to hear in the mediation process, for the parents to be able to work out parenting arrangements with their child's voice being heard.
That is such a lovely aspect of your practice. I love that you do that for families. So when people come into your office, are they primarily represented with a legal advocate? Do they come in unrepresented? What's the norm for, or if there is one, what's the norm for your practice?
There's really no norm. There's everyone can come for different reasons. So some do come. So part of Australian law is that you need to go through mediation before you go to court, unless there's safety concerns or mental health issues or some other risk factors. So they generally they would go to a solicitor for advice, and then they'd get directed to a family relationship centre or a mediator to help them support parenting, or they could just come straight to a mediator because they don't want to go through the legal process, or they could just separate and they just don't know where to go or what to do. So because I offer many services, they could come to me first and then get directed from there on the best support for them at that time.
That's perfect. Absolutely perfect. And I like so much that you phrased separation and divorce as a grief process, because I found that, although not true for everyone, there is a process. You're angry, you're in denial, you grieve, You might go back to anger, maybe more denial, but it is a really emotional time for lots of people. And so the fact that you have these support services that you can offer to people when they're in the midst of huge turmoil is a really fantastic service. I love that's your perspective on the mediation process.
Well, thank you. And also, I might not be, my service might not be the best for them at this time. So I'm fortunate enough to know most of the services in the area, because I'm also the project officer for the Greater Sydney Family Law Pathways Network, which has provided me the opportunity to connect to the legal sector and the social service sector. And my role is to facilitate events or educational events or forums or networking to connect the family law sector to better work holistically for families that are struggling through family separation. So I've been very fortunate to gain a lot of experience and knowledge doing that role. And
that speaks really, really highly of your dedication to professional service for people, that you would, turn away business so that it's to the better benefit of your clients is, it's impressive. I really, everybody appreciates that, but I really appreciate that. You're a good human being, Alison. Nicely done. So now I know that you have a professional website that is a great resource, not only to connect with you, but some of the other resources that are available there in the Sydney, Australia area. Tell us the URL. Give us your website if you don't mind.
So my website's www.relatingasus.com.
Okay.
And all the services are on there, the prices, the about me, some resources are on there as well, some videos for parents to view around other parents' experiences or a child's voice, their experience. So they can kind of feel not alone, I guess, as well.
Well, and that is really important. So the website, relatingtous.com, I'll put that website link in the description down below so that people can click and learn more information. And then I wanted to chat a little bit. I know that you're busy and I don't want to take too much of your time, but I wanted to ask you a little bit. I know that you also provide self-health, personal life balance, counseling, if you will, to providers. I think that it's really important because for those of us in the resolution industry or in the legal industry, we do have a front row seat to some fairly dramatic and sometimes ugly stuff. And it's not always easy to, just turn off the hearing room lights, get in our cars, go home and be a good spouse or a good parent or a good neighbor. That can be a challenge for some of us. And so I know that one of the services you have is helping those of us in the profession keep our own mental well-being in a good, balanced place. Can you describe that service for us?
Yeah, so I guess using my counselling skills and using the family law knowledge that I have, I hope to provide that support for family law solicitors or any solicitors really that are experiencing the burden of their clients' stories. Obviously, there's confidentiality around our sessions, like no names are mentioned and no specific circumstances. So there is client confidentiality there with their clients. But what I'm hoping to do is to provide a support for those solicitors that are experiencing those frontline distressing at times situations. They are hearing some powerful stuff and some challenging stuff that their clients have gone through, that they have to put affidavits in and so forth around. And sometimes having that opportunity to debrief and to talk to somebody about it, that can just sit with them with it and be okay to sit there with their stuff that they're dealing with. I hope that I can be that person for them and support them in that way.
Well, I think it's fantastic that you provide such a safe place for those of us in the industry to come to. And I think that it is a tremendous asset that you are, for lack of a better word, bilingual or trilingual in the legal industry, the resolution industry, and the counseling industry, that really gives such a well-rounded service for all of the things that you do for all of the people that you serve. It's a really impressive practice that you've built for yourself, Alison.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
It's my pleasure. My pleasure. So can I ask a question? What is your favorite aspect of what it is that you do in your practice? What do you really love the most about what you do?
Oh, when you hear some clients or parents at the end, when they have got agreements and they do feel a bit of the load lifted off, and they feel a bit of a light at the end of the tunnel, where they feel, okay, I can move forward now. This may get better. When you see that I think is a really special moment in time, of when you're witnessing parents have that, okay, we can do this. This is going to get better. This isn't going to be all bad. And we're going to be the best parents that we can be. That's special.
Yeah, I suppose that really is the most fulfilling aspect of what we do, when people leave our hearing rooms and you know that maybe for the first time in a long time they're going to be able to go home and get a good night's sleep, that you've alleviated some of that stress and the stress of separating families, divorcing families, permeates everything that we do and experience in our lives. And so the fact that you can make that better helps everybody. Everybody.
Well, yeah, it really does affect everybody. Like when people separate, it affects the families, like extended families, friends, everything. So yeah, if I can provide
it absolutely affects those people that are nearest and dearest to us, but there's a trickle-down effect to that kind of stress in your life. It means we probably don't treat the waiter or the waitress as nicely as we could. It means that we're not as gentle with other humans as we should be, just in a very general way. And so the service you provide, it does have that really truly immediate positive impact on families. But the trickle-down effect to our greater society is not something to be taken too terribly lightly either. So, well, Alison, thank you so. Exactly. It helps the children; they do better in school. It just, everything gets easier and better after they leave your office, and it's such an important service that you offer. Well. Is there anything else that you'd like to tell us about your practice or your clients, or anything else other than, the fact that you shouldn't be talking to us? You should be off on a honeymoon, but, we'll leave that for another day.
I guess the other thing is that I am connected with a psychologist. So I work in a practice where there's 3 other psychologists. So I can cross-refer as well. If I'm working in mediation with a client, I can cross-refer them to psychologists. I'm connected with solicitors as well. So if I'm working them in a counselling session, or I can do legally assisted mediation. So support 2 clients with solicitors and mediate between them as well. So yeah, I try and get as many people together to support the families and to provide longer term outcomes for the families.
Sure, because the goal isn't just to get them out of the door happy today. We want them happy for the long term. These need to be durable solutions to problems, not just today's solution to the issue. So, well, Alison, thank you so much for spending time with us. I really look forward to chatting with you again soon. I think you're just one of the loveliest human beings. I'm a big fan of you and your practice and the services that you offer. And again, I'm going to put your contact information in the description bar. But just one more time, tell us what your website is.
It's www.relatingasus.com.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Alison. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you.